my dear children. Hope you're all safe. Do you remember what we have learnt in the previous class? Priya, can you tell me?
Yes, miss. I remember what we have learnt in the previous class. We have learnt about lands and oceans, in which we have learnt about the first order landforms.
Very good, Priya. Now, Jack, can you tell me more about first order landforms?
Yes, miss. We have learnt about continents and oceans. Continents are the large land masses and oceans are the large water bodies.
Very good, Jack. Right, children. Come on, let's move into today's topic.
Hello, my dear students. I'm very happy to get back to you all through this online class. Without any delay, we'll get into the topic. So, we all know that we are in the new lesson, which is land and oceans. And in that topic, we have classified the landforms into three. And under first order, we have learnt about continents and oceans. Today, we are going to learn about the second order landforms, in which we can see the three different landforms, which are mountains, plateaus and plains. Right. Before going into the topic, I just want you to observe the picture which is shown on the screen. Just look at the picture and identify what is the difference among them. So you can see plains there, plateaus there and mountains. What is the difference that you can observe among these three? The only difference that you can see there is correct, height difference. So difference in height. So the plains, the plateaus and the mountains are differing in height. So today we are going to learn about all these three landforms in detail. So first we'll look into mountains. What are mountains? So a landform that rises 600 meter above the sea level is what we call it as mountains. And that too, it should have steeps on either sides. So a mountain has two characteristics. One is it should rise above the sea level at least 600 meters or even more than 600 meters. And it should have steeps. Mountains are found in isolation and also in groups, which means we can see a single mountain or even we can see the mountains in a large number of groups. So where there will be mountains joined together, which will just go for hundreds and thousands of kilometers, and that is what we call it as mountain ranges. When it is single, we call it as mountain, whereas when it is in groups, continues together, which extends for more than hundreds and thousands of kilometers, then we call it as mountain ranges. And we have some of the examples of these ranges. The Himalayas of Asia, the Rocky Mountains of North America and the Andes of South America are the best example of these mountains. And Andes Mountains in South America is the longest mountain, which is 7,000 kilometer in length. The highest point of the mountain is what we call it as peak. We know that the mountain has steeps. The mountain should also have peak. So that point, the highest point of a mountain is what we call it as peak. So Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world, which is 8,848 meter in height. So simply to remember this, I'll just tell you one thing in Tamil. 8 8 4 8 pona Mount Everest la poidala, which means 8848, and that Mount Everest, M is for meters. So 8848 meters is the height of the Mount Everest. So we all know that the mountains are the sources of river water. Yes, rivers actually. So they provide shelter to flora and fauna. And tourism is an important activity which is taken up there. Actually, we all love to visit all the hilly and mountain regions, right? Because of its cool weather. We all love to be there. Yes or no? The same way, many people who just comes there only because to enjoy the weather. So some of the hilly stations what we have here in Tamil Nadu are Udagamandalam, Elagiri, Erkad, Kolli Hills are the examples of hilly regions in Tamil Nadu. Next we are going to see about plateaus. What are plateaus? So plateaus are the little lower landforms than mountains. So if you can observe plateaus, you can see the steeps here in the plateaus, but the difference between plateaus and mountains are the plateaus have the flat surface on top which looks like a table, and so we call plateaus as tablelands. And Tibetan Plateau is the highest plateau in the world. So it is called the roof of the world. Where is Tibet? Find out, children. So I want you to find out where this Mount Everest is and where this Tibet is. Okay? These plateaus are mainly rich in minerals. So if they are rich in minerals, you know what kind of activity is taken up there? Yes, mining activities are taken up in the plateau regions. Chota Nagpur Plateau is one of the mineral rich plateaus in India. Occupation which is being taken up in mountains are agriculture, even sometimes cattle rearing, all this stuff. Now we are going to learn about plains. So these plains are flat and relatively low-lying lands which are less than 200 meters above the sea level. These plains are formed by the rivers and their tributaries and distributaries. These plains are used extensively for agriculture due to the availability of water and fertility. Even if you can see, when we have learned about all the civilization, you know that people started living near the river banks just because they found that the soil was fertile and then they also had good water facility. So where we find good water and land, soil, that place is suitable for agriculture. Plains are the highly populated regions of the world. So when you compare these plains with the plateaus and mountains, you can see the more population in plains than plateaus and mountains. The Indo-Gangetic Plain in North India is one of the largest plains in the world. The Indo-Gangetic Plains in North India is one of the largest plains in the world. So the plains formed by River Kaveri and Vaigai are important plains found in Tamil Nadu. Even in Tamil Nadu we do have plains which are caused by River Kaveri, which are formed by River Kaveri and River Vaigai. So So coastal plains are low-lying lands adjacent to oceans and seas. Even in Tamil Nadu, we can find some of the plains which are formed by river Kaveri and river Vaigai. Right children, today we have learnt about the three landforms which belong to the second order. They are mountains, plateaus and plains. So I think you have received a good amount of information about these three landforms. See you all again in the next class children. Until then, take care. Bye bye.